너의 은하수 She got deadly line heart 살금살금 다가와 누워 내 무릎에 나른한 기지개 저 창문 밖을 바라보며 꾸는 꿈 넌 밤하늘의 춤이 그리 궁금해 And I don't wanna kill the curiosity I don't wanna kill it I just wanna kiss it I wanna kiss a kitty, kitty And tell her she's so pretty, pretty I bet she's silky smooth And she got attitude I wanna kiss a kitty
She wanna, he wanna.
Kiss a kitty
She wanna, he wanna.
Kiss a kitty Yeah
She wanna, he wanna.
Kiss a kitty I wanna kiss a kitty She says I'm perfect I'm blinking and yawning 쓰다듬어 배 말고 내 머리 그럼 내 손은 full time job 통역해줘 when I say meow 나의 우주가 놀아서 lucky my life making me fly 넌 깨어서도 나를 웃게 하는 꿈저 초승달의 천사인지 궁금해 And I don't wanna kill the curiosity I don't wanna kill it I just wanna kiss it I wanna kiss a kitty, kitty And tell her she's so pretty, pretty I bet she's silky smooth And she got attitude I wanna kiss a kitty
She wanna, he wanna.
Kiss a kitty
She wanna, he wanna.
Kiss a kitty Yeah
She wanna, he wanna.
Kiss a kitty I wanna kiss a kitty
Oh. Good evening, but I seem to have messed something up here and I can't actually see Dwarf Fortress. Let's fix that. Hello, Dwarf Fortress. Hello, good evening, and welcome back to the Dwarven Fortress of Keskalokil, which has been suspended for a fortnight because I was on holiday. Not quite a fortnight. But I can more or less remember what we were doing because as soon as I reloaded, I saw enormous pile of dwarven body parts. Yes, as I recall, I was trying to automate the disposal of vast piles of goblin body parts. Sorry, did I say dwarven? I meant goblin. And to that end, constructing railway networks across the map. And specifically, in order to clear the trees, I wanted to build a kind of spiral ramp here that would go upwards probably by about one turn so that it would be above the trees. And yes, I'd started that and then gone, hang on, why can't I build a roller on this ramp? What's going on? I just had a look at the wiki, and the answer turns out to be you can't build a roller unless there's something. You can't build a roller on a ramp unless there's a gear for it to attach to, which is kind of awkward because you can't build a gear on a square unless it's supported by something. But if we're going to have a stack of gear assemblies up the middle of this pit of this spiral, then they'll all, of course, they can't have floors underneath them for the most part, because if they did, then they wouldn't be able to join onto one another. But I've just realised I can put a floor at this level, the lowest one that needs things to happen, and then have the then have all of the other gear assemblies stacked up on top of that. Though actually now I'm wondering, I was planning to make this like a 3x3 tower with one turn in it and then put a windmill on the top. But I am right next to a river. I could build a water wheel instead. Though I seem to remember we had weird problems last time we tried building water wheels. Well, I suppose we can try it again.
They're dwarves, they probably built it pentagonal.
I mean, we could see what happens if we just construct a water wheel here. Okay, someone is apparently watching, even though YouTube tells me no one is. Well, that's fine. So we could build. So that's the base of the bridge, which means that this row is the centre of the vertical shaft, which means we could try constructing a water wheel there, supported. So where would be the gear assembly? I'll try doing this with a water wheel because we haven't used water wheels much, because they didn't seem to work. So that means we want a gear assembly vertically below that. So we would want a gear assembly there. And then we can. Do we then need a shaft there and then a water wheel there? Probably, yes. Well, let's get that gear assembly built, because everything else is going to be supported primarily by that gear assembly, which is like a bit silly. Don't try to attach a lever to it, or it will all collapse itself, and that will be unfortunate. Why are you fighting? Or dealing with an agitated adder, or rather you have dealt with an agitated adder and are now just standing up repeatedly. What have we done? So that's the new railway, yes, and that is already set up to take from a stockpile, because it will probably take a little while to load it up. Like, we can build the railway while we're loading up the first minecart. Wonder if anything else is happening. We have a truly stupid amount of food in this fortress. Right, so I hope someone comes along and builds that thing. But I suppose there are other things we can do while we're waiting for it, even if we can't install rollers everywhere. So is that a thing that's... Right, that's a thing that needs to be resumed. And that's just building a ramp. We did apparently manage to build some track there, which is nice. Only connects to the west at the moment, but that's fine. Once that ramp's built, then we can then start building the next layer. Oh, the mist generator has run out of water again. Let's ask the dwarves to refill it. We just in a there are stupidly many tasks to do situation. Yes, it looks like it mostly. Far too many things to be stored in various different places. Like that lot will be the fill up that minecart tasks, of which there are a phenomenal number, because apparently they can be done in parallel. Well, that should be fun.
Are there other types of vehicles in your fortress, or is it just
Not at the moment, no.
I quite like the idea
That's curious. We don't seem to have many. Oh, we were probably selling all the second-hand clothes recently, weren't we? Which is why there are no bins in this stockpile, because they're all over in the trade depot. Hopefully we managed to sell something. That would have been good. Aha! Here comes someone with a mechanism to install our gear assembly. Yes, it is indeed a mechanism. Once that's in, then we can start building both upwards and building ramps and out into the river, and building rollers, sorry, and out into the river. I think we only need one roller per 2 stories, but we should probably test that. So we don't need too many rollers. Right, so now we have a gear assembly there. So now we could put in a horizontal axle east-west of merely 1 square to get over this weirdness. And also we'll want another gear assembly here to drive the first set of rollers, I expect. Yeah, that's probably for the best, isn't it? Right, so we've scheduled the construction of that gear assembly as well. Oh, you've built that shaft already. Excellent. Right, now let's build a water wheel. Water wheel. Thank you. Which I presume that means long in the north-south direction for dealing with north-south water flow. Right, that looks good, yes. Well, it might work. Let's see. It may be that we have to build a temporary bridge across the river in order to construct the water wheel, construct an additional water wheel or two. We'll see. Right, that ramp is now constructed, so now we can build. Now dwarves can get up to here, so we could build a wall there, and then a ramp there, rather, and simultaneously a ramp there. Agitated raven has got into a fight with a dog. Neither of them seems to be lying around dead, so that's probably a good sign. Yes, Snodoblasm. Strodno's Snodoblasm has left their ear behind. Well, probably not behind, they're probably dead too. No one is currently filling up this minecart, presumably because they're all busy filling up something else. We have a bunch of digging to do over here to try to make ourselves a beach, don't we? Most of it's currently marked as blueprint because it's not, because there are objects on some of the squares, but some of them don't have objects on. So we can at least mine those out eventually. Also, dwarves are still filing new goblin parts in this stockpile in order that they can then eventually be loaded onto a minecart and tipped into the atom smasher. Apparently something is going on with butchering something here, which is probably for the best. What are we butchering now? A crab, apparently.
Not even a giant crab.
No, just apparently perfectly ordinary crabs are worth butchering. Which slightly surprises me, but there we go.
Crab meat is a thing that people eat.
Hang on, Harris. This is wrong, brimming over with wrong ability.
I'm sure you can butcher rabbits if you really want to.
If this is going to be 3 by 3 with a shaft up the middle, we need to build the next square there. If we make it 2 by 2, then there's nowhere to put the drive shaft for powering all these rollers. I mean, we might be able to get away with one down the outside, but then no, that would need to push things up 4 Z levels, and I don't think we can do that. So we need the we need things to happen at the edge, not in the middle. What? No. What on earth are you blithering about, Harris? We need to build this 3 by 3, not 2 by 2. We need to have things happening in the middle, not at the edge. Is that got suspended? That ramp? No. Just someone has to get round to it. And then we're also going to want to... It's okay, I was wondering about that object. Oh, it's a random linen hood. Okay. So can I... thus, like, say, build us a track from... not from there, actually. From here. From here... no, let's not try to make sense of this. I'm confusing myself just thinking about building that. Let's wait until we're in a position to lay most of the track all at once.
Most of it. You can't lay all the track all at
I think this stockpile is mostly being filled with bits of goblin from the drains where they've been pulled out of the river, which might be a slightly inefficient way to dispose of dead goblins. Like they could just be dumped, but faff. Right, we now have that level built, so we can go build a wall here. Now we do want to turn right. This does get us 8 Z levels up, which seems kind of excessive. Possibly we should stop climbing or stop twirling or something. Still, we want to clear the trees, so that means being up somewhere around here. But still only 4. So possibly, this is not the moment to go, I've designed this utterly wrong, Ben, but like life will probably be simpler if we went for a floor here Am I then allowed to build a wall there? No, because we can't currently get at it. If we essentially only make half of these into ramps rather than all of them, so we don't gain quite as much unnecessary height. So how are things going with these then? Why can't I go from here to the sheet on the person, on the creature? Because I was hoping I could find out, like, how the taming process was going. Oh well. Yeah, lots of people shipping things back and forth. Oh, there's a ghost here. I should probably do something about that. Have we got a pending memorial for them? We've got a pending memorial, but it's not that one. No, right. Who is the ghost? Thebdoran is probably a good name to try searching for. Right. That will probably help eventually. So how are we planning for this minecart to set off? I wonder. Like, is someone going to guide it over the bridge and then we expect then push it off into the new rollers, or do we like have it powered on this side? Not sure. Seems that the new water wheel is a less popular thing to try to. I suppose it's going to take 3 things of wood, so even if someone is trying to build it right now, it might take them a little while.
Right. Put my toothbrush on to charge.
Someone is apparently holding a training session on for how to hit things with miscellaneous objects. Which I kind of suppose is probably a useful skill. Though one might hope that my military dwarves have other objects. Seb asks, what kind of things? Well, I think any kind of object that isn't intended as a weapon. So, like socks or anvils, or probably not anvils. They're may not be very easy. Or crutches or such. Like crutches are quite good. I say socks because in a previous fortress we had a minotaur that beat several people to death with socks. It now appears as an example in the Dwarf Fortress wiki of how important socks are. Right, well, the dwarves seem now to have decided they're filling up this minecart again, which is nice. Seb says, so military items of non-military... Military applications of non-military items, basically. Yes, yes. Improvised weapons. Hitting people on the head with a frying pan. So, is anyone... Ooh, what's that? All right, that has dealt with one of our ghosts, at least. That one was... That memorial that was lying around waiting to be installed was actually... important. A siltstone memorial to Geshud Avuzastis. The slab reads, in memory of Geshud Avuzastis, born 97, drowned in the year 114, lover of millstones. So did that fail to build? Gear assembly's been cancelled, been suspended because Raven. And we apparently didn't have any stone here at the moment. Because that piece of gypsum is forbidden. Okay, let's unforbid the gypsum. And then try rescheduling those two tasks. And hope that works. And apparently the construction of that got suspended and we should resume it. Because it was only suspended because someone got distracted by Raven. Right, so now we've got that floor there. Now we can build a wall on that corner. Add a ramp up to it. So we are shoveling items into this minecart. It is currently 29% full.
The idea of Dwarf Fortress minecart having one of those progress bars that gives you absolutely no information of how long it will be till it's done.
Yes, well, that's more or less what's going on. But like this bit is quite an efficient process now. Putting the body parts in this transport. Let's also investigate. All right, that was apparently an uninstalled pedestal that just happened to be lying around, possibly because someone had knocked it over. Oh right, yes, I see. Those are not actually useful pedestals, in that they're fallen over and need to be re-erected before we can even think about putting heads on them. We could probably like unforbid that and then go build furniture display there with the siltstone pedestal that's no distance away. While we wait for some useful building to happen. Nothing seems to have gone wrong with building that water wheel. It just hasn't happened yet. So one of the giant wild boars was apparently was sufficiently untamed that it has gone completely wild. Oh, I think that the corpse dumping operation has just completed, and we've disposed of a large quantity of a minecart full, at least, of deaded dwarves, deaded goblins. I really can't do my nouns today, can I?
I've actually went somewhere, did it?
Yes, it doesn't go very far. That minecart just goes from here up this ramp, and then gets tipped off at the end into the into the atom smasher, which then smashes some atoms. See, there's an object. Let's follow this stray dog mangled left front paw, because it's just landed on the lowered bridge, which should now open, hurling it for a very short distance into the air, and then destroy it. I was wondering how high it would throw it, because we've got objects all the way up here somehow. Right, the wall I just asked to be built is built.
When I played badminton as a teenager, we played in a hall with a very high ceiling, of course, with visible girders running along the top. Someone once managed to hit a shuttlecock onto one of the girders. And guess what the idiot did next?
Try to get it down, yes.
It seems like the sort of thing that once you start going, I wonder how high I can throw this.
Right, so you're actually able to make a rock slab, so that will eventually happen. Good, good, good. Now, why has this water wheel not been built yet? Is it impossible to build in some way?
The leopard gecko is not helping.
Yes.
Someone was interrupted by the Pope.
Possibly. You mean a giant cardinal?
An agitated giant cardinal.
Right. So the second gear assembly managed to get suspended, its construction suspended again, as is that ramp. This is a problem with building things outdoors. You do have to repeatedly unsuspend the construction operations. We're reloading the that minecart again. So many objects. Still, we're destroying objects reasonably quickly. And like the frame rate is only slightly embarrassing. Apparently have some merchants all the way over there. I'm slightly uncertain what's going on there. Why are they hanging around in our pastures? What are they doing? Rock slab is still being made. suspended again. I think the part of the problem is that if the components haven't yet been brought to the right place, then then the construction can get suspended just because someone has got interrupted while carrying something across the map, which is rather too easy to have happen. Doesn't even require. Ooh. How did that happen? Where did that happen? Oh, there. That's odd. That must surely be a recent drowning. How did someone... Were you dodging a giant cardinal by any chance? That might be it, I suppose. What's their name? Erith Vukar Thingamy. And appear there. Don't seem to have cancelled anything recently either. Still a bit uncertain how that happened. Let's try opening drain B and seeing if we can get that body out of the river. Come on, build more things. Come on, show me my mouse pointer. Where's my mouse pointer gone? Oh, there it is. Somehow lost the ability to see it briefly. Is that enough to suck that corpse into the drainage system? It looks like it's not. Let's open drain E as well. Right, that ramp is now finally getting built. So now we can get to, no, not there. There. Let's build another bit of floor. That is now an erected pedestal, which means we can try to stick a head on it. If we can find one. It has to be a head that looks like it's a goblin head. And of course many of those have been have probably been disposed of, and the surviving ones are probably towards the bottom of this list, so that looks like a goblin head. Let's just schedule it for installation on this pedestal. Is this enough drainage to sweep that dwarf corpse out of the way? Doesn't look like it. That's annoying. Am I going to need to increase the drainage rate still further by opening a third drain just to get it to work far enough upstream? Well, we'll try. If I can find the correct control. Let's give that a better name. So that it actually, because we're now gaining quite a few bridges. I can't find East River Drain D's lever. I'm slightly suspicious of the fact that there are a couple of loose mechanisms here. Sadly, I can't go, where is the... actually, let's check another one. Oh, the corpse has finally moved. Good.
In a different biome, that would be worrying.
Yes. In this biome, it's perfectly normal. May as well unforbid this thing. So there I can see Show-Link Buildings, East River Drain E. Drain D does not have a Show-Linked Buildings button. So I think Drain D's lever has been destroyed, which is kind of inconvenient. In that it means I can't open that drain again without some fairly serious remedial engineering. Anyway, I think that corpse has now been put somewhere more helpful. There it is. So we can close the two drains that we opened, which were B and E. There we go. Right, how's that slab coming along? Still being made, presumably by someone who's terrible at stoneworking. Well, that thing keeps getting suspended. This bit of building, on the other hand, seems to be working okay. Building the water wheel hasn't happened still. My guess is that it's in some way unreachable. So that seems kind of weird, because like you can at least get at that square and that square. And surely we don't need all of the squares of the water wheel to be reachable, because you can build them in a string across a river. where most of them you can only get at from one edge. What's that on the railway track? It's not forbidden, it'll be dealt with eventually. Probably. But you'd have a forbidden stray donkey corpse there. Let's unforbid it and dump it. I mean, in theory, it might be able to be butchered, I suppose. Leave it undumped briefly. Like that. Pedestal has got sorted. Let's forbid the item on it. And set to work on the next pedestal. That one appears to already have... What? That one, even though we can't... Oh, it's assigned... Is assigned... Yes. It's assigned but not on display. So what we need to do is to find that item and unforbid it so that it can be displayed again. This is a Arstruck Aslot Tanketh. You sure? That sounds like a very dwarven name. Don't appear in the list of dead, but I think the list of dead must be incomplete. Might take a little while to find though, because you can't search body parts very well. Even searching for head doesn't work. So yeah, I'm not very convinced. We don't have the ability to sort them, and there are 1,100 of them. Just actually, this is not taking quite long enough to worry about. I know it's forbidden, so I can skip any page where nothing appears to be starting with an open brace, assuming that I can spot those quickly. Oh, there it is. Arstruck Azlotanketh's head. It's covered in goblin blood, so it's probably a goblin's head. Right, well that can now be installed on its pedestal. Oh, someone's finally hauling a mechanism over here. Excellent, right. Maybe they'll manage to build it without getting interrupted again. Yes, right. So now I can try building rollers. They should run west at full speed and they should go there. Right, that seems to work. Needs a roller, needs a chain, not a roller, a mechanism and a chain. Right, and we can build another gear assembly. No, we can build a vertical axle here because a gear assembly here couldn't power anything there.
Same one used by Dwarf Fortress, and where all the strange characters like smileys and things come from.
So we want a vertical axle and it will go there. Oh, no access. How inconvenient. How can I make that accessible without going mad? Yes, because if you need to build the thing from an adjacent square, from an orthogonally adjacent square, then you can't build it on those squares where the ramp is at the corner. So let's see.
Yes. It was a pre-ASCII code page used in Turkey. There we go. The ASCII code used in Turkey is very much like your evaporators, whatever the rank is.
What could I do? I mean, I could build like a kind of scaffolding platform around this side or something. Let's build some stairs and a scaffolding platform, and this is why I should only have rollers on the orthogonally adjacent. Well, this is why I should only have ramps on the orthogonally adjacent side, I think, or something like that. This is why I need something on an orthogonally adjacent side at every Z level, so that we can build the things from an appropriate square. Those are not exciting suspensions. I was quite confused there by the way up and down worked until I realised that I think mentally that greater than should take me further from the entrance rather than specifically up or down, which is not right. All the leaves are falling from the trees. How pretty. Right, Astruc Aslot-Anketh's head has now been put back where it belongs. This one has a similar problem. That Zuspgas Urastrathab's head is not where it should be, and forbidden. There's a question of whether I have the patience to search for it, though. I think maybe we just hope that these ones that are assigned but not currently in place can be will eventually get unforbidden. and then we can put them in place, and then they'll automatically get put in place. What time's it? It's not that late yet. I shall carry on a bit longer to try to get... Right, so that's now reached that height, so following the usual rules, we put some floor in there. And that is probably the point at which actually... No, you don't put floor in there, you idiot. You build track there. And that track can now just run clear over to like here somewhere. No access. Why? I can do it that long. Maybe it just doesn't like me building an extremely long track. Is that the right place anyway? No, it should, yes, it should go from there. Okay, maybe I can't build it starting from there. That's weird. That seems to work. Okay. And let's cancel the end sections, because those will be rebuilt by other means. So we've now got somewhere where we can start installing floor in order to make get ourselves into a position to build that third gear assembly. Still no sign of the water wheel being built though, which is weird. Butcher shop still operational, if slow. Right, we've made the new slab, but it still needs to be engraved. And then so that means we've actually got all of that spiral now, doesn't it? So I should probably be able to actually ask for it all to be laid with track, if we're lucky. You're going to say now that I can't build it there. We do actually need that to be properly a corner. Well, let's build it from starting... What? Why must remove construction when it's on a ramp?
you that it's going to get wet. I've got an umbrella. So,
Right, that looks good. I think all that track construction will now proceed correctly. Faffy though it was. Oh, we're out of clay again. For the purposes of making porcelain bricks, which are how we make everywhere nice. Let's see where we've got some mines. Right, we've cut all of this edge off this kaolinite cluster, so that means we can now declare a slightly low priority automatic mining area. All along these edges. So essentially everything on the non-cavern side of that cluster can now safely be mined. Oh, and someone's coming across to do it as well. Excellent. Where are they coming from? Fairly high up, but let's watch them trundling down there. Because it is sometimes nice just to watch things happening. And there are an awful lot of things happening. Fair distance down here. Surely your unmet need to wander is helped by descending deep into the mines in order to mine some kaolinite.
does it count as wandering if it's purposeful?
Yeah, maybe it doesn't count as wandering if it's purposeful. Satisfied at work though, that's cheering. Right, and we've successfully mined at least a little bit of kaolinite there. So that's nice, good.
Right, I will get wet. Good night.
Good night. Enjoy the water. Raining quite a lot outside today. Well, not today so much as right now. Right, that track is actually getting built quite quickly. Our big problem is that this water wheel still isn't. Let's just try building a temporary bridge there and seeing if that makes it easier to build. Right, can we now build the gear assembly here? Yes. So we are running slightly short of mechanisms. Oh no, that one isn't meant to be a gear assembly because there's nothing for that to power. That one should be a vertical shaft. Axle. Whatever. Thing on the next floor up. Should be a gear assembly. Which apparently we can build schedule for building right now, even though it would be unsupported. Don't know if that's a good plan, but and then it should be a gear assembly every level. Again, maybe a bit excessive, I don't know. Right, so those rollers are now constructed, but there's no sign yet of the water wheel being worked on. Why is this still not being filled? It has the proper items, which are the same as that one. As a link from Corpse Stockpile 72, which is that one, which is obviously correct. So why is no one loading from it then, hey? One does seem to have also ticked body parts under refuse. We done that here? No. Don't think it makes any difference, but maybe everyone's just too excited by this one to do the other. Still haven't got the mist generator properly refilled. Come on, you guys. Look, I still haven't processed the last batch. Right, well... Okay, what are we going to do about this then? I do have the slight problem that there is currently this bridge across the river that will make it rather easy for the goblins to get across if we allow them to. Don't really want to try to demolish the whole thing all at once. Let's make that a very high priority demolition job though. Let us ignore the goblins for a little while. Well, when I say ignore, I mean summon troops. We'll deny them a parley soon. But I would quite like to at least get one square of that removed. Ah, right, we have finished making that memorial. Let's install it. someone is coming to remove this square. Someone is also apparently coming to install a mechanism somewhere. If someone could just deal with this square, this bridge, then I will then decline the kind offer from the goblins. I mean, I think I might want to get more than one square missing, but the rest should be easy enough. Oh, is this someone coming to deal with that? You can't easily tell because everyone's a doctor rather than being like a miner or a fisher dwarf or whatever. You're going to come back? No, you're going to find something else to do. Nuisance. Dwarven child has been possessed, and so is probably going to make a some kind of artifact. Is that now going to drop that log into the river? I don't really mind, but spleesh. Right. That didn't seem to improve the actually getting that water wheel built issue, did it? Okay, right, that's 3 squares cleared out, which is probably enough. Oh, do we have a mechanism for retracting this bridge? No. Not sure we can do that fast enough. Let's start at least. No, I didn't mean. Oh, actually, it's inside the fortress. It's probably good to have an artifact mechanism being used for the lever because it'll cheer people up every time they see it. I think actually those squads, of whom there seem to be very few, pull out a few more people who ought to be adequate. Those 2 squads, I think, should actually be up near the bridge we can't retract. Say here. Right, I don't think we can fix that bridge in time, or rather, make it mobile, so I think we're going to have to accept, deny, that some goblins are going to come across that bridge, but they'll probably be doing it in single file. And therefore it shouldn't be too hard to kill them. Oh, we're going to have a leather artifact, it looks like. This in honour of my new wallet, which is not really artifact quality, but hey. So, beak dog's coming first, apparently. Beak dog's getting scared and running away. So there was a beak dog now crossing the railway bridge, which is inconvenient, but that kind of thing does happen. But there is a mob of dwarves standing, going up the stairs just to make my life inconvenient. I don't really want you to get into fights on this bridge, you see. Because then when people dodge, they're going to fall off into the river. And you guys can't swim. Okay, you can swim apparently. What are you doing there? Still, Kib Sanrababan, who has been one of our more annoying people, has never learnt to swim, and hence is currently busy drowning. Oh, what a pity. You can see detached bits of goblin being hacked off and falling into the river. This is probably not very good from the point of view, though, of people trying not to drown. So, to be fair, so far only Kib Sanrababa, an annoying dwarven child, has managed to get themselves into a drowning position. Have all of the goblins decided that this bridge is the way to go? That's going to be a nuisance. Yeah, or you're also getting beaten up by goblins. Goblins who have admittedly fallen into the river while not knowing how to swim, so... Yes, this is not the best of places to be trying to have a fight, to be fair. But we have laid to rest Soxal near Bomrek Thebdorin Ison. The slab reads, in memory of Soxal near Bomrek Thebdorin Ison, born 82, bled to death, slain by the goblin Ampxu's simple hells, with a copper shield, Ununames Tosp, the gory siege, in the year 115. Militia commander of the Treaty of Caves 114 to 115, slayer of the giant blue jay coloured martyred, lover of the music of intricacies. It is coated with water. I think Kib Sanrababan died of something other than drowning. be really good if you guys would stop trying to have this battle on top of this bridge. In particular, it seems to be turning out pretty fatal for the dwarves. Possibly, not actually as far as I can tell, because they're falling into the river particularly. But because when they do fall into the river, they end up getting beaten up by someone 2Z levels above them. Possibly because the fall into the river is a bit far. Not sure. What's this goblin doing? Only a novice swimmer, but hasn't drowned yet. What kind of fun are you having? There's an awful lot of missing going on there, isn't there? That was at least a fairly comprehensive attack. And now mostly you're dodging arrows. I'm sure you could get out of the water if you wanted to. How is Bomrick? Whatever they were called. Maybe it's easiest to get it through this, even if it does only work half the time. Right, there we are. It's still primarily dodging things. Someone else has fallen in the river. For some reason, all of my dwarves have decided that they should cross the river here rather than somewhere sensible. This is going to be a mess. I mean, we might win this battle nonetheless, but will not be for want of trying to lose. Given this, I think that lot are a long way from the drawbridge now. I think we should lower the big drawbridge. If we can find the lever for it. And then send what troops we can across there. Which means that anyone who's willing to move, noting that dwarves who are actually fighting will generally not obey orders anyway, we'll go down there and then get the goblins from behind. because I think that will be helpful. Yeah, they're getting very easily distracted though. It's like the mob going to nobble the goblins from behind, maybe one dwarf. I mean, it'll probably be good for that dwarf, but... Who's that? Monwas, Ours Lular, member of the Moons of Bolting. Oh, I didn't know that button did that. And I then issue an order to just mobbers, right, to say go across the river. Looks like it, yes. It's taking a while, but we have arrows going everywhere. Right, and Wommers has spotted something to attack. Good. Mostly cleaning up spare beak dogs. It's kind of amusing watching this fight where like there is clearly quite a lot of fighting going on because body parts keep flying off the tower of what's names. Diziot says, isn't single fire what the goblins want, since then only a few of you get to mash them with maces while all of them get to shoot at you? Yeah, that's one of the ways in which is not what I want. I think. In practice, they don't seem to do that, though, because actually they stand on the other side of the river. And now we seem to have got a bunch of dwarves across the river who appear to be suddenly spreading out and making nuisances of themselves. That it's a bit hard to distinguish the dwarves mincing the goblins from the live goblins from the dead goblins, because they're all just lowercase g's in different colours. Right, what's left of the invading force then? It appears to be 3 beak dogs and 1 goblin axeman. One goblin axeman is probably going to drown, not sure. Seems to be doing quite well at not drowning at the moment. Ah, now busy drowning. Right, good. Possibly managed to fall in the water in such a controlled fashion that until someone attacked them, it didn't seem like a big problem. Now busy drowning. Beak dogs keep falling in the river, but I don't think they're so prone to drowning. Come on, finish dying. Oh, someone's got at you with an axe or something. Right. That's the last of the goblins. Are there still some beak dogs out there then? Or did they get dealt with while I wasn't looking? Right, no beak dogs. Siege over. Slightly more fatal than I would have liked. Can you swim? Yeah, probably. I'll let you get yourself out of the river. I'll cancel all of the special orders so that the surviving dwarves can go home. And it appears to be more or less midnight. So I'm kind of tempted to say that now that we've just added even more dead goblins to our problems, at least like a lot of them are in that stockpile because they got killed in the stockpile. Now we can start trying to tidy things up again. That's one bit of track we haven't managed to build. Right, so yes, I think we will stop now because it's late and we have even more tidying up to do. And I'll see you on Friday when I hope I can actually get some trains running. Maybe we can make this water wheel work, or maybe we'll give up on water wheels. I don't know yet. We'll see. Anyway. Oh, let's see how that... yes, there is no one slowly going mad in the leatherworks. That's good. Oh, have we got... No, we haven't. Right, we haven't got an adequate amount of water in the mist generator yet, so we'll want to leave that. Right, so I will save now and say goodnight, and we'll be back on Sunday, I expect. Hang on, I can't press that button and then say goodnight. It doesn't work like that. Good night.